episode 174 of the ongoing series, The Blathering Live. I'm Ken Knapsack here with you all. And some things are good. Like I like a little my improved lighting setup. I'm liking the way that's looking. You can see the green in my eyes a little bit better, and there's no shadows from the... I'll tell you why I'm not good at lighting. I did take 2 years of film and video production. I was going to be a director. And then they released Star Wars figures, the Power of the Force 2 line in 1995, and my friends and I would ditch class to go to the Toys R Us across the street from our community college, Allen Hancock Community College, Santa Maria, California, home of PCPA, one of the greatest theater programs in the nation. We would go across, and I'd get Star Wars toys and wrestling figures, and I didn't learn anything. So we're here. Also, that's good. I'm happy with that. That's an up. A down is I've just been depressed lately. It's been a depressive week. You look outside the world, we all should be depressed. I'm quite frankly worried of just when's the apocalypse going to hit. Now, to be accurate, for those who do study biblical prophecy in the end times, which I used to do, the apocalypse is actually like a war. The apocalypse is like a war kind of at the end of that 7-year run, or maybe it's at the beginning of the 7-year run. Then the Antichrist emerges 3.5 years in. It's a thing. But just generally, the apocalypse might be forthcoming, which we'll talk about in science later tonight. 60 Seconds of Science with Dr. Addie will be on the show tonight. She'll be on the show, and the segment will be on the show tonight. We got 16 seconds of sports, and I don't even know what Steve has got planned for that. I don't even know. I haven't paid attention to much this week. I am binging, as you all know, Eastbound and Down. I am almost done with it. I think I got 3 episodes left, 4 seasons. The show grew on me. We talked about last week. I'm not a positive or negative feeling for Danny McBride until Righteous Gemstones, and it was way positive. Didn't love Vice Principals. Didn't even finish watching it, and I took a shot with this. And 2 episodes in, I was like, I don't know. But now I can't put it down. So that's kind of all I want to do this week was just lay on the couch, which is not comfortable. I have a neck thing going on. God, I sound 72. And watch Eastbound and Down. But I'm here with all of you. And not to say that like you're a burden. I'm the burden tonight. I'm the burden. So we're going to get through this, which is why I've poured a stiff drink tonight. A lot of people check it in tonight, like Alec Mullins, who called in recently. Joseph Thomas is here, check it in. Addie, of course, here. Cinder's here. Cinder, I believe, is going to be popping out to the show tomorrow night. Can't wait. If you're watching live or you're watching later on replay or even listening on the podcast version, let me know if you're going to be at the show tomorrow night. It's going to be fun. I just had lunch with Mark Ellis today, and I've got everything I'm going to say tomorrow. 90% of what I'm going to say tomorrow is new, which is death for a comic. And I've not been great. My last couple of performances have been a little off. So it's going to be a high wire act, folks. That's the stakes. This could go completely wrong tomorrow. But what are you going to do? Then afterwards, I'll go get drinks. So we got that. We got our debut of a segment tonight. What the segment is? The segment is "Fuck That Guy," and it's Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick edition. But this is, yes, I'm in agreement of this. But producer Steve's going to come on up with that, and we'll see what's going on there. All right. Adam Knight's here. Check out Adam Knight. I'll put up his card for his book here. It says, remind me at some point, Ken, if you want to do some segments on health and wellness and struggles. Let's just do one on struggles. You all can call in tonight. You know the drill. If you want to call in, become a channel member. Or a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Ken Knapsack. Appreciate the support over there. You get Pop Rockin' Radio. New episode should be coming. I'm going to get it just in under the wire. I got to go to a baby shower on Saturday, which is a thing. I don't know how to baby shower. Does anyone know how to baby shower? Like, what do you do at a baby shower? I'm going to know 2 people there. I'm going to know 2 people at the baby shower. My cousin and his wife, who is the mayor of a city. She's 30 years old, and she is a mayor of a city. What am I going to say at this baby shower? What do you say? Do you just eat the snacks and go? I'm definitely going to be Irish. Goodbye. David McKay. David McKay says there was a baby shower at Madam Web. You could watch that for research. Thank you, David. It's been nice to run into David over on Michelle Boyd's streams. It's good to see David. It's good to see the old Channel 19 username pop up again. Check out my buddy Michelle Boyd's streams. I've been she goes live most days at 3:00 my time, and I've just been sitting down editing video and writing when she's up. So it's been fun to kind of pop in those streams. And she's supportive of us. So I'm going to return the favor. If you're on Twitch, and you want to go hang out with Michelle Boyd, my former Game of Thrones co-host, go ahead and check out her work there. Alden Diaz is here tomorrow. We don't even know what the topic is tomorrow, but we gotta anytime tomorrow. Alden says baby showers are a racket. Sometimes people reveal genders. Sometimes you already know. And that is just a party of no alcohol, no fun, and not much else. What do you mean no alcohol? I can't do that. I can't do that. Bring sharp knives and a broadsword present, says Rads. I might do that. Alden says it's a glorified way to collect gifts for the kiddo, which is fine, but don't lie to us about it. Okay, Producer Steve, we're going to bring Producer Steve on in a second. Says we did at our baby shower. We did our baby shower very wrong. Oh, no, you had alcohol? I want to know about that. I want to know that. All right. Oh, my buddy Mike Fink's here. Everybody, breaking news on the news desk. Doge Shagoon fired after admitting that he was surprised to find the government works and is not as inefficient as I expected. And the best thing about this, and first of all, Elon, as we know, he might be out of, he might have some kind of government business card, but he'll be around, right? So still, let's take down Tesla. Let's do all that stuff. The fact that some of this might be related to him being in some sort of weird throuple with Stephen Miller and his wife, if it wasn't destroying our country and the world around us, it'd be hilarious. It'd be hilarious. All insane. He's still cooking tomorrow's show. The longer I think about it, the more unhinged it could be. Good. We got about an hour tomorrow on any time. It's not gonna be a super long show because we got Force Center live at 2:00, and I got a comedy show at 7:30. God, I have no time to be lazy tomorrow. All right. So that's where we're at. We'll do a Squirrel Center. I think we got some Game of Thrones. We got some calls, and that's it. Good night, everybody. Good night. Brendan says there's no alcohol at my sister's baby shower. I guess my question is why? Why? I drink. And if other people don't, that's on you. That's on you. You're the outlier. You should not drink. I do. The baby's not born yet. The baby's not getting drunk. I'm not talking about getting hammered on whiskey. I'm talking about you got a champagne, which I hate, wine, something to lube up the social engine, right? I'm going to get grumpy. It's just one of my pet peeves. Show up to a party and no alcohol options. And then you didn't tell me, so I could have stopped at the liquor store and had a drink in the car. I don't know. Alden says, in my experience, they're boring daytime affairs that are meant to be cute, like a live performance of an Instagram post. I love this. I love that. Alden, put this in the notes. We're going to talk about this anytime tomorrow. Yes, I agree with you on this. Because I'm always happy for an expecting couple. I don't want kids, right? I don't want kids. And we don't have to live in the same worlds. We can cross over every now and again. But I'm happy to be going to this baby shower because it means I'm in with the mayor of my city. All right, Producer Steve's here. Producer Steve, am I getting too grumpy about this? You've had baby showers in your life. You have a kid. Am I the problem here?
No, you're not the problem. This is an interesting take. So I was at a baby shower last weekend. You guys are going to some boring baby showers. Let me just put it that way, because I've never been to a baby shower where I didn't stand in a circle with a bunch of other dudes and drink. So that's for starters. It's a cookout. Episode. Yeah, I mean, it's just a cookout. It's just a cookout with a lot of pink balloons. If it's a girls, because I was at a girls one. It was just a cookout with a bunch of balloons and presents for the baby. And yeah, that was it. It was just a cookout. Yeah. That's been my experience with a lot of baby showers. That's what my baby's baby shower was.
Yeah. Adam Knight says sobriety school. Just say
that's totally true.
Yeah, for you.
Totally true. Yeah.
I will support everyone in the sobriety, but I don't do the. But I don't drink. Good, I do. good I do. So that's on you. I'm sorry,
Right.
Steve. That's where I probably get a little grumpy because I've been
No,
to
it's okay.
parties where they're like,
Personal
"Well,
choice.
we don't drink." Got it, but you invited me. You invited me. Like, what are we doing here? No one wants to be at these things. We all got to function. Sorry. I know you don't drink, Brennan, because your God demands you don't. Like, I got it. Like, everyone, you should drink. You should drink unless you don't want to. Then maybe don't have the party. God damn it, Steve.
Sorry. You are.
Where's
a little
Matty
grumpy.
Gunner? I know Matty Gunner's drunk right now. You all need a drink, man.
No, but my only problem with baby showers, and I'm guilty of this because we'll be having one soon, is when you have after the first kid, there's like a lot of questions, and it's very controversial if you have a second baby shower. So the thing now is to have what's called a sprinkle instead of a shower.
Stop this.
Yep. And so
Stop this. What the
yeah,
fuck's
so you have
a
a
sprinkle?
It's like you know how it's like light. It's like a shower light, right? You know what I mean?
Because
It's
you're
just-
having a second kid
exactly.
and you're not allowed to have a full shower?
Exactly. It looks selfish if you have a full shower.
What's the difference?
You tell
So-
me. I don't know.
So
it's a
if I
sprinkle.
get-
That's what it's a difference. It's called a
if you get
sprinkle.
if you have a second wedding, you got to go drive through?
No, but I mean, if that's a great point. If you get divorced and you invite me to your wedding again, especially if I was a groomsman in the first one, and you make me a groomsman again, like I'm going to spend considerably less money this time on everything across the board. Sorry,
100%.
unless yeah.
100%. I'm going to share without saying names. I think I've been downgraded. I definitely downgraded the friendship, and I think I was downgraded in the friendship because I went to a wedding like 2 years ago, and I did not get a gift because I haven't got a wedding gift in maybe 15 years because I'm there.
Yeah.
I gave up a Saturday to be here. I had a joke. I wouldn't say it worked. I had a joke that for a while, the idea being every wedding you attend, there's a large percentage of the people in the audience who at one point that week looked at the calendar and went, fuck, that's this weekend. And I'm sorry, weddings are a great big thing. They're love, and you should all have it. And yours was perfect. Everyone out there, we all are like, God damn it, we got to go to this wedding. The party is good. The dancing's good. I think you should just have that.
Yeah. Well,
Do the vows somewhere else, Steve.
Okay.
Go-
some people do
then-
the courtroom wedding stuff now and then have a big party.
And then rent out the back of a Denny's and then invite me. Sorry.
You just gotta keep the ceremony. Excuse me. You just gotta keep the ceremony part short, and just get to the reception
Yes.
stuff. That's all.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about wedding. Nobody. Like, again, this is someone who enjoys going because I like to, one, drink, two, dance like I'm in a Chapel Roan video.
Do you cry at weddings?
No!
It doesn't sound like it.
I only cried. Let me tell you something. I gave a speech at a wedding 20
Okay.
plus years ago.
Okay.
I was like the co-best man. And in the speech, I shared what the groom had said to me the night before at the rehearsal dinner. He leaned into me and said, "Do you think I'm making a mistake?" And the answer was yes. But I couldn't say that.
You can't tell him that. No.
And so in the wedding ceremony, I highlighted that he asked me that
Oh dear.
and answered, no, you're right. They're currently on their like third divorce. Like, and I do mean that. They've been like 3 times divorced.
Right. Ay.
Steve, you didn't
Well-
know what you were getting into today.
No, that's okay. Hey, love is a complicated.
That's
love
my
is a
point.
complicated
Like,
world.
I was right. Like, I just don't. I don't think marriage is for everyone. Okay, Steve, we're 6 minutes behind. We're 6 minutes behind. I was not. I got to tell you, and I think Alden and I are going to go in on this tomorrow as well. This Taco Bell stuff has been hilarious to me. President Taco, Trump always chickens out. This emerging from the business world, Wall Street, tech bros, and the tariffs. And I got to admit, I've not been plugged into the news this week, so I'm not spitting facts here, Steve. I've just been amused by those kind of on the inside are usurping his sense of cool, because that's all he really wants to be is cool. And that now his nickname is Taco Bell.
now his nickname is Taco Trump, Taco Bowl. I think no one will ever. Trump will never look at or say tacos the same way ever again. Well, hopefully, I don't know if he has that much like cognitive awareness, but
he loves the Hispanics, right?
Big grin, double thumbs up, but this was one of those moments where I think we're going to look back and look at the transcript of that press conference, and that's going to look like the nuclear press conference kind of in a way where he just spouted. I mean, everything is absolute nonsense at this point, but this one really, like, he gets set off when he just starts doing like schoolyard bully, like, oh, that's a nasty question,
it's a nasty question.
He just starts saying. He literally said. First of all, he called his tariffs a tax before he corrected himself and called them tariffs. That was hilarious. And then he also just said, the China tariffs there. I'm going to develop a Trump voice. I said this on Backstage last night. I'm going to figure this out. He said he started at 150, went to 100, and they said, and then I lowered it to some other number. Like, he doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about at this point.
Right.
So, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to hear what you and Alden have to say about this tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe I'll research it. I don't know, but I'm getting up early to go for a walk with a friend. I don't know today. Yeah, anyways, I think again, this is kind of what I said last week. This is maybe partly why I've been, like I said, my eyes are always on the news. My eyes are always on the world. My eyes are always on changing people around me as best I can, unless you invite me to a party with no alcohol. So I haven't been taking the deal because it's just a roller coaster, right? Supreme Court blocks this, federal judge blocks this, they unblock this, they this, appeals court unblock. So it's like we all just gotta hold on to the ship comes into port or crashes into the bottom of the ocean. But I love little moments like this where his facade, which is already weak and orange and painted on, just collapses, and he's now Taco Bell.
He's Taco Bell. Ken, it's not even June, man. It's not even fucking June.
Gregory's here. I think Gregory had drinks. God, a couple years ago. Was that Gregory at that club? A very funny individual and very smart. We need to park a taco truck out to the White House. I agree with that. Let's troll him. All right, so we want to do Squirrel Center, and then we're gonna do. No, I'm not hiking with Christian from the Wangers, Kingsport. We don't hike anymore. Our hiking friendship was broken. I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. I stopped. That's why, and I got fat again. I got fat again. I'm trying to unfat myself, Steve, and I've been in the gym every day this week. It's been nice. Okay, it's been nice. I'm not quite the lead singer from Wet Leg.
Oh, look at you. Oh man, I'll tell you, Detective McCarcel was showing off the guns on Backstage last night. I was worried the video was gonna get flagged for violence or something. It was crazy. That dude was ripped.
You did a truly secret broadcast. I sat down to play some Fortnite later, and I saw that there was a new video, and I just kind of had in the background 2 shirtless gentlemen. Jared shirtless.
Yeah, well, Jared's always shirtless, so that wasn't. Yeah.
He is. I wonder how much he goes in the gym. I'm gonna ask him that when he calls in. All right. I called Christian. I had lunch with him today. What are you talking about out there? All right. All right. You ready for Steve? Are you ready for this? We got the latest update from Squirrel Center. That's right. My new identity is taking care of the squirrels in my backyard, and 4 of them. Big update is yesterday. I was sitting down working on some stand-up for tomorrow night's show. I hope you're all coming out to that. If you're local, yes, please do it. And I heard some ungodly screeches that were from a squirrel. And I thought, oh, God, this could be bad. And I pop out my little back patio, and on the table on which I put the squirrel lunch and breakfast and dinner, Kylo, the one I call Kylo because of the face scar, get it, was on the table defending his food against 4 crows who were on the ground, and one was on the table with him, and the crows, I don't know what their plans were, but the 4 of them had him surrounded until I came out and I saved the day. And then Kylo went up into the tree, and he laid on one of the branches, and he just stared down on me, which I could only imagine was Kylo just playing some kind of sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much. Like we just connected. These squirrels get me. Anyways, I edited together, Steve, a little highlight of today's lunch feeding. First, you're going to see Squirrely. I'll just bring this up here. Here we go. All right. So that's Squirrely, who I can definitely confirm is a female. Kylo is the male. Don't ask me how I know this, but this is Squirrely double fisting. If you go back to the beginning, she's double fisting an almond, and look, listen to this sound. It's just adorable. And watch when suddenly the peanut pops out, like she gets to the center of the Tootsie Roll right here. Like it's like joy. It's just like crunching. There it is. Oh, I got the best treat in the world. But then boom, and then so I was like, don't worry, I got you back. I'm gonna replace you. And then Kylo comes down and is like, no. I'd like a treat. And here comes Kylo. He's like, hey. They know their names now. And there's a scar. You see a little scar? That's a scar. And then he's good. All right, Steve. That's the big update. That's the big update. That was my day. That all happened today.
That was a beautiful video. It's the confidence that Squirrely has gained in you and you've gained. So are we officially thinking Squirrely and Kyla? Is this a Squirrely couple? Is this a Squirrelo situation?
My worry here is if you look at Squirrely, I keep saying Squirrely's getting a little big. I'm starting to think I might have a squirrel baby shower soon.
We need a squirrel baby shower, and that
think,
makes you a squirrel's uncle.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Yeah, I don't know if they're together. I've seen them fight a little bit, but Squirrely was around before Kylo, and then there's two others. There's Mump and Worthington Mountbatten II, and they're the tinier ones. And they're starting. They won't take food from me, but they're getting comfortable, Steve.
Okay,
it's getting comfortable. So that's the squirrel update. Any questions?
And so were those? So were Mump and what was the other one? I'm sorry.
Worthington Mountbatten II.
Worthington Mountbatten. Were these OG Mumps that now just have been around enough to get identified? Okay, got it.
I've recognized them, and I kept saying like Mump 1 or Mump 2, and that's just not fair to them, Steve.
That's not fair to them. No, tell me, can you imagine being Mump 2, Ken? Come on.
Yeah, no, Mump 1 maybe, but Mump 2? So the second one became Worthington Mountbatten II. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Excellent. Excellent.
And all of them, Steve, I got to get footage of it. I'm beaming like a proud parent. Maybe I should have a baby shower.
You kind of are.
I got to get footage of when they drink from the little water dish I put down for them. I got to tell you, it's the cutest thing in the goddamn world. And I know you got a kid, and at one point you were like, this is the cutest baby ever. Great. Until you see Squirrely face first in a bowl of water from IKEA. It's just divine.
Yeah. Divine. Well, I'll say the obnoxious thing and say my daughter is very cute, but I'm sure Squirrely's Squirrely's adorable.
I know. Look, I honestly don't think I've ever met a baby that isn't cute. Even if you look at the parents and are like, good luck to you, kid. But I think that's the design. That is proof of some higher power. Baby's cute. Baby's cute.
Baby's cute. Babies are cute. The other thing is too that you learn when you have a baby is babies smell good weirdly, especially like brand new, like super fresh babies. Like we're talking, couple weeks old babies. Okay, they smell really good. It's a weird instinct thing. I'm telling you, it's real.
It's some hormone thing, a sprinkle, maybe.
It's like puppy breath in a weird way. You know how they talk about like how people love puppy breath because it makes you want to protect it. Like we got here. Look, man, we put someone on the moon, in the '60s somehow, right? We got here. We made it somehow.
Steve. Allegedly.
It's fair.
We don't know that. How many? Have you ever been in a conversation with someone you love and respect, and suddenly they're like, "Did we go to the moon?" Which I'll say this: there's enough around. Like, there's some things that I go, "Okay, yeah, it's fun to take that journey. But then you just know someone leans in too hard, and you're like, I'm not going to talk to them the rest of the baby shower.
It wasn't the moon, Ken, but there was someone who I really liked and respected and cared about who, in the middle of a conversation, slipped, climate change isn't real. That's just a conspiracy to get Chinese businesses over on American businesses. I was like,
yes.
Okay.
Because this statement was drilled into me by some family members, not my immediate family, not my mom and dad. But if it's green on the outside, it's red on the inside. The communists will come for you that way. Oh, my God. All right. Good night, Adam Knight. I got to pay attention to my baby for... Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Fair.
Anyways, we got a quick segment here. We got 60 seconds. I almost said 30 minutes of science. We got 60 seconds of science. Though the world probably needs 30 minutes of science to change things. But Steve, should I bring you up on the 2-shot here? I should probably bring you up a 2-shot. Should we do that?
Sure. Why not? What do we got up here next?
Well, we're gonna do our debut of "Fuck That Guy," the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, Dan Patrick edition. But this is your call.
No, I appreciate that. Yes, this is. Thank you. No, this is a fun new idea. I just sent you one note about. I read this story this morning, and this just for whatever reason got me super pissed off. So if you want to inform yourselves, because producer Steve always says, please read the information from the source itself. Don't just listen to me yapping on the internet about it.
Fair.
But you can look up KView ABC. They are the folks who ran the original story and were the reporters on the scene at this press conference. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, no, not that Dan Patrick, the sports radio guy who's in Adam Sandler movies. He's cool for the most part. This guy is a real dickbag. We're gonna unload on this guy. I just want to warn you now.
Unload.
Okay.
Call him a bucket of cunt froth. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So this guy is a total dickbag. So this is the Lieutenant Governor of Texas. So we all know Texas really has its priorities straight when it comes to being progressive about things like drug laws, right?
Yeah.
Considering they border Mexico and have all these fears about the cartels and blah, 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 blah. You'd think they would want to do something about the illegal drug trade and find ways to regulate it so they could safely sell products to their citizens and create jobs for people and generate tax revenue for their education system that we know they don't give two fucks about anymore. Mm-hmm. But they had a big press conference today where they are going to enact a statewide ban. The hemp industry in Texas is urging the governor, Abbott, to veto this bill, but this bill is going to pass through, and it's going to put a statewide ban on consumable THC products sold at stores. The lieutenant governor, when he held this press conference, initially told reporters he was going to offer snacks at Wednesday's press conference, but then told reporters once they got in the room, he lifted a sheet to show a table of consumable THC products that he said are sold in stores. Right, like it was going to jump out and hurt someone. He also said, quote, "You don't know what's in it. No one knows what's in it. This is not a game." Ken, these are like regulated legal products. All the ingredients are on the side. Like, okay, you can say you don't understand it, but you don't get to tell us no one knows what's in it. It's dude, it's weed and brownies. I've made it before. It's not that complicated. Since 2019, products with 0.3% of THC or less have been legal in Texas. So this isn't even, like I said, these aren't even weed brownies. We're talking about like Delta 8, Delta 9, like the really, really bottom of the barrel, like just the hemp industry getting its claws in somewhere to legalize something. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
So Delta 8, Delta 9, other than probably being some cool Chuck Norris film, what does that mean to me? Who is weed sober, Adam Knight?
It's like it's on the line between legal synthetic weed and like real weed as far as like what it's actually, how the effects are hitting you, right?
Okay.
You're not going to get this stuff and get the same effects that you would at if you go to Colorado and get actual weed, or go to any other state with legal recreational weed or medical weed, right? It's just a lower potency and all that kind of stuff. It's supposed to be more pinpointing the things that marijuana is supposed to treat for you, right? It's supposed to be workarounds. They're all just workarounds for these super conservative anti-drug laws. So, anyways, but at the end of the day, this total dickbag comes on the air and says the people. He's not talking about the cartels, Ken. He's not talking about the black market that's running like drugs, which is operating because they don't allow the legal sale of THC or any of those products in Texas. He says these people want to kill your kids. Not the actual cartels. Like I said, it's the legalized marijuana industry that wants to kill your kids. That's what the lieutenant governor of Texas is saying. Mm-hmm. And so this was this was just a mind-blowing thing when you look at how many other states have figured this out, where we can regulate an industry, get a bunch of money from taxes on it. A lot of these states are using that towards not only education, but also social services, all sorts of stuff. People in Texas aren't going to stop buying or smoking weed because of this. This isn't taking anything out of anyone's hands.
Two that aren't.
So
personally know two that are like stocking.
It's 2025. If this was in 2005, this story would make a lot more sense. Be like, oh yeah, look, Texas is doing Texas. But I don't know. I don't know anyone specifically in Texas that's like in our community or anything like that. But this got me. This got me fired up.
Yeah, no. At the center of it for me is something that I grew up with. Is you're so steamed, your glasses are fogged. That's great. It's something that I grew up in the 80s with the satanic panic of the 80s. It is the stoking of the great fears. Like, again, I joke about earlier about can alcohol be destructive? Yeah, absolutely. Can there be addiction issues? Yeah. Is it something that should be worked on? Do I actually truly support my sober friends? Yes. Jokes aside, I think you all know I really do. But is this is this base level fear that is this pearl clutching that once you poke through it, once you see through it, as a kid in the 80s, as you grow up, and again, I have not had any strain of Delta 8, 9, 10, or whatever the fuck Calvin smokes when he calls into the show. I haven't had any drugs. I might one day do shrooms, okay? Only because I think it might help my writing. But I drink. That's my vice. It is once you see through it, that what you're talking about, the arch conservative, won't somebody please think of the children thing, is such a line of bullshit that they insert successfully into everything, including on big issues right now with the trans community or the queer community, right? Won't someone think of the children? Because they're coming for the children, right? And meanwhile, they're shielding every youth pastor or police officer in this world who's going down for sexual assault and other kind of words YouTube. Though I've said a lot of words today YouTube doesn't like anyways. And that's what drives me crazy, to hear this square fuck stand up there and go, y'all don't know what's in these snacks.
No, this fucking asshat sits up here, Ken, with saying how marijuana is going to kill you and that we don't know. He's basically accusing the legal marijuana industry of not knowing if they're putting fentanyl and illegal things into the products. Meanwhile, and he also talks about how the drugs themselves are harmful and addictive and they do all these terrible things, all these awful things. Homeboy took $50,000 from the Texas Beer Alliance last year or whatever the last re-election year, whether it was 2024 or 2023, $50,000 from the Texas Beer Alliance. So again, this is just the hypocritical of, and again, I put whatever the hell you want in your body. I'm not one of those people. I think we've seen in other countries, like Portugal, for example, has had interesting tests and trial runs on how to handle these kinds of things. I've encouraged people to look that kind of stuff up. Prohibition doesn't work, period. We've figured this out over 100 years. You're better off
just
regulating
watch Boardwalk
things.
Empire.
There's better ways to fix these things than taking away people's individual freedoms. So,
well, yeah, because this is the same group of not even politicians, but the same line of thinking that when it boils down, that won't someone think of the children? And yes, I'm making a Simpsons reference there with Reverend Lovejoy's wife. Won't somebody think of the children? But yet, they will try to take all the funding out of public schools. They're destroying the Department of Education, and they're going to push for charter schools. Why? Because charter schools are outside any federal regulations. They can choose who they want in, and who gets in? The rich white kids or the rich families. Meanwhile, everyone else is slumming it over at the now undervalued, under-budgeted public schools, and the system and the fight keeps going in a big circle, holding everyone down. And these are the same people who then successfully, because I know people. And I was one of them, man. I used to arrest people for weed at the mall. Like we used to. I've fucked up some lives probably with some of just weed stuff. And it was this weird thing where I felt I was doing it for God. You know, like that as a 24-year-old kid in L.A., my parents had told me this is the gateway drug that will lead. So it's this weird kind of righteous crusade over something like this, which again I've never had. And I have some friends where I'm like, could you lay off the gummies at this party because your eyes haven't blinked in 12 minutes? Like, we can have those conversations, be different. But it is the fear-mongering that's getting you upset and clearly getting me upset.
Yes, the fear-mongering, the hypocrisy, the absolute blatant disregard for science, really.
Yes.
And, yeah, if you want to say you don't like something, that's fine. You don't take away people's choice to do it, but it's just the whole, I'm going to take 50 grand from the beer lobby, from the alcohol industry, and then say that, so this drug is okay, this drug is bad. Even though we know this drug is killing thousands of people a year in car accidents, blah, 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 what have you, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not advocating to do anything illicit or say you should do drugs or anything. That's not the point. The point is, this dude's a total fucking douchebag, Ken.
That's it. That's the point. That's the point.
I don't even live in Texas.
Yeah,
but fuck that guy.
But the other thing too, and I'd be surprised. It doesn't look like Greg Abbott's gonna veto it, right? I can't imagine he would.
Fuck no, he's not gonna veto it. Are you kidding me? No, absolutely not. I'd be shocked. I mean, we might come on here next week and I'll look like an idiot, but I'll be happy for that because that would mean Greg Abbott did something that wasn't totally fucking stupid
or selfish. But it's like. Those kind of politicians, and this is, yes, and you can find those on the left, and this is a sling arrow evenly conversation right now, but Texas and Florida politicians so often play the part, and that drives me crazy.
Oh,
It
yeah.
drives me
Oh, my
crazy when they're like, this is what we're doing for king and country. We all know who they consider the king now.
Yep.
Even though, they're just, I think at this point, they just drive a golf cart with the king up to wherever they need him to sit and sign some executive orders he doesn't fully read or understand. And that drives me crazy too. So when you boil it down, he's just a douchebag. That's what it is. You're just playing a part. You're just playing a part in what you think is this culture war that you're winning.
It's not even a good part. It's like a caricature of a part. It's not even like that's the thing with the
horn, leghorn kind of part.
I swear to God, I'll get off my soapbox in a second. That was the thing about the first Trump administration versus now. And the first Trump administration, it was all shocking. We were asking ourselves, how the fuck can they do this? What is going on? In this one, they're just not even trying to hide the bullshit. It's just like they're just being Disney villains because like they just know they
know
like
they
because they can. But it's just like
they can't.
But they actually can't. Like it's just they actually can is the crazy thing. It's just like
with all these rulings.
Oh my God!
If any of these rulings were to stick, including the one where the federal judges yesterday said, "Hey, no, Jack Wagon, you can't do these, Liberation Day tariffs," and then appeals court overruled that today or whatever it was. But like, if it were ever to stick, they're still going to do it. So what are we going to do? Is Cory Booker just going to stand up for 26 hours? And I'm someone who liked that. I thought that was a good thing. At least got the word out. But I think you know what I'm interested. This is where I end the conversation. I try to choose hope. I am really interested in what happens with Kate Abu-Ghazali, who is the 26-year-old journalist. A lot of people call her like an influencer live streamer. That's not fair. She's been covering right-wing politics as a journalist for years. If she ends up winning over there in Illinois, it's a grassroots campaign. I wonder what that will do. That might be one of the first bricks in a new wall that gets built. And I'm watching her stuff. I've contributed financially to her campaign. Does that mean I think she's perfect? No, because no one is. Do I think Bernie's perfect? No. Do I think AOC's perfect? No. I don't think anyone's perfect. But as Luthen Rail once said, I think we can give up the perfect. And I'm interested to see because that is someone who now is emerging, like Maxwell Frost as well. But she is emerging and trying to win a different way and change some of the stuff. And maybe fight some stuff. It's just one person. I don't know, Steve. I'm choosing hope.
I agree with you, and to put a button on that as well. In choosing hope, there was another candidate from Southern Arizona who I started reading about that I thought was kind of in that similar vein as Kat. Gen Z candidate Deja Fox. I don't know if I'm saying her first name correctly, but
I'm not familiar. We should look that up.
She's a 25-year-old candidate for Congress who's running down there, and she had some really good. I watched an interview she did, and it was very. She'd volunteered for the Harris campaign and stuff in Arizona, and has been active as a political activist since she was in high school and everything, and so she's really young, but she was really good, great message spreader, and I thought she did it really well in a press conference with two of the other. It wasn't even really like a debate. It was kind of more like a town hall-ish kind of thing. They weren't really debating each other. They was kind of talking points. And I thought she held her ground really well against some, what you could tell were just established state politicians. So
I love that. I'll look her up more. In terms of Kate, if Tully says she's great, she's great. Because Tully correctly has a high bar for what politicians should be doing to fight this thing. And I overall really agree with Tully on that stuff. So if Tully gives the Kate Abu-Ghazali approval, she's good to go. All right. Thank you, Steve. That brings to close our first segment of Fuck That Guy. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick edition. All right. Let us transition. We got some fire tonight. I'm foghorn, leghorn, and I'm fired up tonight. So there we go. JMB, I agree with we need more AOCs and Jasmine Crockett's again. Perfect? No, we don't need perfect. We need to start blowing up. Figuratively. Let me say that correctly. Figuratively, blow up Imperial tanks on Naboo. All right.
We need people who know how to speak to people, Ken. We need people who know how to speak to people. Like the old guard. I swear to God, I'm done. But the old guard just don't know how to communicate to 75% of the country. They don't.
Kat is so well spoken, which is probably, I'll say, a wise beyond your years type of thing. She's so well spoken, but there's so many like her that you see out there that can just speak and, so to speak the language to the current generation, and that needs to be. That needs to be seen. Look, for what it's worth, not comparing, but like JFK was like, who the hell is this young Catholic that worked for that time. And again, far from perfect. And though good things, but the reason we're in Vietnam and blah, 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 there's a lot of stuff with JFK and, happy birthday, Mr. President, all this stuff. But you know what I mean? If you go back and study history, he was a tide turner. A tide turner that I think, Nixon tried to fight against, and eventually the dam broke with him. But we haven't got the next big thing. AOC is part of that to me. And you know why I know she's part of that? Because I used to loathe her. I used to loathe her when I was on the other team.
And that's Ken. And damn it, I said I was done, and LQ even called me out in the thing already. The right wing machine right now, Ken, is completely designed to make sure that person doesn't emerge like that. That's why AOC is already getting like Hillaryized to so many people as far as on the right. How people don't even know who she is, know a thing about her, but they hate her because the establishment has told them to hate her. So like that's one of the things they're doing lies. To clamp down the rise of someone like that. So I have so many. Yeah, I could go on all night for that.
Steve, we need to go on all night.
We need to move on.
There's a lie going around of AOC was a bartender. First of all, she was in college. Bartending was the job to pay bills. She didn't like. And by the way, if you're a career bartender, like Laserbolt was at one point, good for you. You probably make more money than most of us. But she was a bartender. She was handing out campaign flyers while working, while going to school. And then there's this meme going around of she goes from a bartender to now her net worth is $29 million. Something's up there. Corruption. It's a lie. It's a complete lie. But Rob Schneider, of all fucking people, was posting that out there, making lies on the internet. And the people I know on that side will only see that. They won't see the truth. And that's one of the things we got to fight through. But I go back. All final thoughts on the AOC thing here. When I was on the other team, but I was starting to be a free agent. I was starting to look at other offers from other teams. But I was on the other team. She emerges. Everyone around me was misogyny, sexism, racism on full display about that dumb bitch doesn't know what she said. Like, I heard that every day at my job. And then that video came out from her college days, dancing, right? Remember that video came out? And she was dancing. Yep. And all of them started to do again. Won't someone think of the children? This harlot is dancing. Do you see this in tight pants? This harlot is dancing. And I remember going, you're going to make her a megastar because there's nothing wrong with that. And it shows a real person in college having goddamn fun. And I hope, more of that personality, because those are the people that will be able to speak to those out there. I don't know.
God forbid someone dance on a rooftop for a music video in college, Ken. They're clearly unfit for office. But, all right. Look at our current. I'm done.
Steve's done, everybody. Steve's done.
Put me back in my corner.
Kings Workhouse says nobody remembers Rob Schneider anyway, except for the people that do. And that's the problem. The people that will see him and Jim Brewer and all this weird pipeline from comedy to alt-right grifter needs to be studied. Thank you, Sean McCabe. Laserbolt says bartending kept me out of politics. I absolutely love that. This is why you should drink. Okay, let's go here. We got a lot of calls lined up tonight here. I love everybody checking in here. We're already running behind schedule. Man, damn it. I have to go walk by the LA River tonight. All right, I might have to push that back. Let's go ahead and bring in our resident professor of smart things. We love having her around talking about the science world and the effects, but also sometimes the victories and the little small slivers of hope. Addie, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm exhausted, Ken. How are you?
I'm depressed. How are you?
We're going to do this all night.
All right, hold on. 898-4M does not know who Rob Schneider is. Okay, we'll come back to that. All right, Addie, take it away. 60 seconds of science. I want to hear what's going wrong and what's going right.
All right, Ken. This week, the U.S. is not the only country where science funding is being attacked. This week, protesters took to the streets in Argentina to protest funding cuts that have been underway since 2023. And in New Zealand, 45 million New Zealand dollars were cut from their new government budget for science. A new method of oil refinement may allow for the separation of gasoline from crude oil using a thin plastic film. This method is less energy intensive, generating less pollution in the refining process. Scientists have genetically engineered the bacterium that causes the Black Death to be less lethal, but more transmissible. So maybe a lateral move? The government canceled a $600 million contract with Moderna to develop a human mRNA vaccine for the bird flu. The decision has also forfeited the U.S. government's right to purchase any doses ahead of a pandemic. Scientists have developed new technologies to help shuttle drugs across the usually impenetrable blood-brain barrier. If successful, it could mean large advances in the treatments of Alzheimer's, various cancers, and other diseases. And finally, in a follow-up from my special report on Monday, I want to clarify that the word falsifiable means refutable, which in my opinion is worse than the fact that inflammable and flammable mean the same thing. Many researchers still fear that the order will do the opposite of what it is intended to do by putting U.S. scientists and science under the thumb of political appointees. And that is 60-ish seconds of science. Ken, where would you like to go?
I mean, I love hearing that, we got possibly smart people working on how to, cure Alzheimer, cancer, and everything. But in the face of, lack of funding now worldwide, as you're saying there, it scares me there. But I saw the headline this week of the Moderna thing, and that coupled with the headline of didn't RFK again? I hate to just say didn't as a question because I haven't read all the story, and I do apologize for that. But just RFK and one of his cronies wanted to get like a bunch of infected birds from Canada down to Florida to quote study, and it's like that. You're literally just going to bring it all here while also not allowing us to develop the vaccine for bird flu. Like, what are we doing here, Addie? What are we doing here?
I didn't see that story, but I did see one when I was coming home tonight that apparently the RFK Make America Healthy report has several citations in it that aren't real. Which just fuels my suspicion that the government is being run by ChatGPT.
Yeah. And again, I keep saying
nothing hallucinates a citation like ChatGPT.
Correct. But again, I use it. I keep saying this. I'm becoming. And I don't know, but I'm just like I'm starting to be one of those people that has to come forward and say like I more use Perplexity to search stuff for a job I have. I use that stuff, and I don't just press send when I get the information. It's a speed up on my research. How is the government just pressing send, Addie?
Because it's run by people who are not much smarter than my college students who use to write papers and think I won't notice.
Right. Side note, do you have a program that my friend's partner is a English teacher at a college, and she has a program they have to run to determine if it was written with AI, and I'm just fascinated by that.
I didn't know one of those existed yet.
I'll have to research. Maybe I can get this to you. Maybe it can help you.
There's been a plagiarism one for years. No, I should say this in case any of my students ever find me here. We've started Trojan horsing things.
Ooh, explain this.
So we'll put the word problem or whatever online, and in white text we will put something that you're not going to notice, but when you paste it into the ChatGPT box, ChatGPT will read it and then does its math wrong because we tell it to do something it shouldn't do to solve the problem correctly.
Okay, this was one of the things my friend's girlfriend did, and she wasn't there, so I didn't have the conversation directly with her. I called this the Tyrion Lannister method of just telling one lie or three lies and one truth and determining who told. That's fascinating.
One of my colleagues calls it, he refers to it as Trojan horsing them.
I'm jumping out. Clever girl, says Laserbolt. All right, yeah, so that's again, I hate bad news, and who knows, it's always an ongoing adventure, but just, that Moderna story, part of the depression this week. Just combined with it all.
I mean, I tried to find good news, Ken. I promise I did.
Addie, there's not a lot out there right now.
The Black Death isn't going to kill you, but it's easier to transmit. That's good news.
I like that.
Since we're going to be insisting on burning fossil fuels anyway, we might have a cleaner way to make them. That's good news.
That's good.
The blood-brain barrier story is good news.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit of mine. What did you say?
The blood-brain barrier story is good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like as someone who used to work in an Alzheimer's wing, in the 90s of a care center, it's devastating and it's tragic. And as someone who's had friends who've lost parents to that, and seeing someone with early onset Alzheimer's, I dealt with in my security days. It was one of the most hardest days I had. Like you just want to hear some sliver of good hope for future generations. Is this part of that, Addie? Do you think?
I definitely think it has potential. It's going to, I think at least in the current climate, it's going to depend on, I wasn't entirely clear of what they were using as these quote unquote shuttles for these drugs. And I know, like, I'm pretty sure, I am certain that the Moderna bird flu vaccine was only canceled because it is an mRNA vaccine, and they have decided that mRNA vaccines are the devil.
Yes, right.
Like
again,
if it was
playing the part, right?
What?
Like they're playing the part in a way. Going back to it's like we don't like this vaccines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we don't like mRNA. Like where
specifically, yeah.
We don't I'm gonna quote a musical again, Ken. I think I've quoted this musical on this show before.
You're allowed.
We don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us.
Yes. What musical was that? Was that Wicked or Little Shop of Horrors? Or...
Oh, you're close. You're close because it was written by Menken and Ashman. That is Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast.
The mob song from Beauty and the Beast. We don't like, which is commonly known as Kill the Beast.
Kill the Beast. Gascon.
We don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us. And this monster is mysterious, at least.
Yes.
Bring your guns, bring your knives. Save your children and your wives.
Steve, do you think that's one of the only times in the history of the world that a musical has been relevant to a conversation?
Ever? I mean, maybe on this show.
I'm yanking Steve in front of me as a shield from Addie.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Addie dropping bars, says Kingsport Cal. She is dropping bars, but that's great. No, jokes aside, I agree with you, Addie, on that. And that they're part of the vaccine boogeyman.
I think it goes to producer Steve's rant. Like the whole we don't know what's in it. Like that's been an argument for years. If you can't pronounce the ingredients on the label, they must be bad for you. Like, okay, we came up with really convoluted ways to name chemicals, guys. They're hard to pronounce sometimes because sometimes you just put a bunch of vowels together and it's a name. Like.
Yeah, I can't. Anytime I order the medicine needed for my dog, I can't say it right. And they make fun of me at the vet, but whatever. I don't fear it.
Yeah, like that is not a reliable test for whether, like, that should not be the criteria for whether something is good or bad for you, is whether or not you can pronounce the word.
I agree with that. There's so many liquors I can't pronounce correctly. And Steve, I just put them in my mouth. Constantly.
Those vets went to school for a long time to learn how to pronounce those words. I didn't. I don't have a college degree to denote. Yeah, that's good for them.
Like some I nail, but some like Incurin or Insurin. It looks the same. You tell me. I don't care.
It's the little white one. Yeah.
If Steve, we got to get a bar trivia team together, and Addie's our ringer for a lot of this stuff. We clean up. Addie, you good at bar trivia?
I love bar trivia, and I never get invited.
All right. Is there a virtual bar trivia out there? Someone research this. We gotta squat up. Maybe we can win big prizes.
I'm just gonna say, like, there's a reason that the list of chemicals that I look for in my samples is just like alphabet soup. Because if we wrote out the full names, we'd be here all day.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I just worry about yellow dye number 5. That's the only one I worry about. Which is probably in everything.
Red.
There's that too.
Well, that's Luke Skywalker.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Addie, love this. Thank you for 60 seconds of silence. Before I let you go, though, you said you're exhausted. What do we got to do here? What do we got to do? You need a nap? You need a new pillow? What's going on?
I need a nap and a better healthcare system in America.
Well, I can get you the nap. I can get you the nap. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to find out if I get to keep my medical. You know, I think a lot of us are.
I'm waiting to find out if there's something seriously wrong with me. So, we can just wait together. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll find out soon. All right. We'll get you through it.
That's my hope.
That's your hope indeed. There it is, everybody. Follow Dr. Addie on Blue Sky. Addie, what's your follower account?
Oh, I hit over 100 in last week's show. So thank you all. We are currently at 106.
Look at that. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Follow Dr. Addie on Blue Sky, the resident professor of smart things. Drop your handle in that chat as always, Addie. Let's build this community together. You guys are doing wonderful stuff. We got Laser Bolt over the partnered barrier on YouTube. We're going to get Addie to our follower goals to help spread good information and important information about the science and scientific community. Addie, I appreciate you.
Always, Ken. Thanks for having me.
All right. Beauty and the Beast. Steve, your favorite Disney musical is?
Favorite Disney musical? Oh, God, putting me on the spot. The Lion King.
Never seen it. All right. We're going to go.
Oh, yeah. Aren't you and Alden putting together a scheme to watch to get that together if you guys hit something on Anytime? Isn't that one of Alden's things?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Scrimshaw and I haven't seen it either on Force Center either.
That's one of my top 5 movies all time.
But
Love
Joseph and I explained it for our generation. I don't know. I can't remember. Did Alden not see it or did see it? I can't remember. He's gone on to better things tonight. He's probably hanging out in the chat. But Joseph and I explained it. The best thing, when that came out for us in 1992, we were like, dear God, why is Elton John slumming in a Disney movie? Like, why is he? What happened? The bitch is back. What happened to that guy? And he's singing this like the we were like, what is going on to our rock god? So yeah, it was weird. Yeah, it was weird. It didn't hit. That's a generational thing.
That's fair. I mean, because I was right in the sweet spot for The Lion King. That was the first movie I saw in a movie theater. I don't remember that happening.
Yeah,
but that was the first movie my parents took me to see in a movie theater.
See? Mine was a musical, Annie.
Okay.
All
there you go. Have you not told Addie that before?
I'm telling her now.
Okay,
Before
that
even
could have
Star
bought you some
Wars.
cred.
I mean, technically, I was in the drive-in, 1 year old for New Hope, blah, blah, blah. My first, we're going to the movies, the one that I remember was Annie. It's a hard knock life for me. See?
My first movie I remember going to was A New Hope, but it was the special edition re-release in theaters.
See?
But that was the first time I remember going to a movie theater, and I remember that was the first time I saw Star Wars, and I remember being absolutely scared shitless the first time the Millennium Falcon jumps to hyperspace. I was absolutely terrified. I was looking at my dad like, holy shit, are we going to die? He thought it was hilarious. Anyway.
Nikes. All right, let's take a quick call here. Then we're going to do 16 seconds of sports. And then Jared's going to come up here with his shirt off, and I don't know what the hell he's going to do. Seriously, you had two shirtless men on the show last night. Steve, you're pushing the boundaries, and I love it.
I don't know if Detective McCarcel was actually shirtless or if he was just wearing a very, like, one of those kind of like
skin.
Yeah, but the guns were out, but I think he was still covered up in the chest region.
Jared reminds me of Flea.
Yeah, Jared
feels like he could be at home in the Red Hot Chili Peppers with a sock on his boop boop, and I think that's where. Well, I can't wait to talk to him about this.
He just stands out on his deck like that, just nothing but a sock, drinking his coffee in the morning. There's something there's Fireball in the coffee or something. Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
that's Jared.
We're gonna do a quick call here. We're gonna do our buddy Brennan Mystical Bar return to the show, and then I think we'll take a call from Aiden as well, and then we'll do 16 seconds of sports. After that, we'll do Jared. Brennan, welcome back to the show. How you doing, buddy?
Good. But I have to give you a minor correction.
What?
The Lion King came out in 1994.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, Brennan. But you're right.
Well, even worse. I was a senior in high school. I was a senior in high school. I graduated in 94.
I was 9, so.
But see, perfect. Brennan, I hope you went to see Lion King in the theater and
I
you
did.
wept tears of joy and you sang the
no, I
songs. Okay, all right.
But I did sing the songs, yes.
Beauty and the Beast. What's your favorite song from the Lion King, Brennan?
From the Lion King? Oh.
Yeah.
Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Yeah, Elton John, Tim Rice, Elton
Yep.
slumming it. Slumming it.
Elton was not slumming it. Shame on you.
Well, now, history shows that I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. Let's be clear about this. I'm wrong. But in 1994,
No,
we were
but
like,
Be Prepared is pretty good.
yeah, okay. Be
See,
prepared.
that's
Sean
that's
McCain.
that's a good one. Be prepared is the good one.
Here's one for you. So, the voice actor Jim Cummings
Yes.
had to sing some of the lyrics of Be Prepared. Because Jeremy Irons blew his voice out singing it.
Oh, Jeremy Anderson. Okay.
I got to hear Jim Cummings sing it live.
Nice. Nice.
At
Nice.
FanX in Salt Lake 2 years ago.
Jim Cummings, of course, the voice of Hondo Anaka.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I met him.
Just
I met him.
don't anyone Google Jim Cummings, the voice. All right. So
I wasn't going to go there. No.
Brennan, what do you got?
Well, I was thinking about what I called the cult of Andor exclusivity.
The cult of Andor exclusivity. I like it. It sounds like something in Star Wars.
It's the idea that Andor is the only Star Wars show that fill in the blank.
Right. The only one that's done
It's the
this.
only one that understands politics, and I know that you.
Yeah, we've spoken on that. Yeah, absolutely.
You took umbrage with that, and so did I.
Dear sir, I took umbrage, and I did. What? So, how are you, Brennan, a genuinely positive guy, approaching that in conversations online? Are you changing minds? Are you getting angry like I do, and taking your ball and going home? How are you approaching
I'm turning into
solving?
my alter ego, Salty Brennan.
Salty Brennan. Yeah. Okay.
But I usually don't engage in those conversations.
That's probably for the better. I think that, yeah.
Because to say it's the only show that understands politics, it's like, have you not been watching?
And I think most of them haven't. That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned. So I'm trying to take it as an opportunity to, without snootiness in my voice, and I'm not saying you have that or others have that, but without kind of being like just going, oh, if you enjoyed that, you should check out this show or this film, and we'll see if it works. I don't know, but it's the internet age.
To me, Star Wars Rebels and Andor are kind of a piece.
Yeah. Oh, Rebels covers.
They're both about kind of the same thing.
Rebels thematically is beat for beat with Andor. Obviously, there's a difference. Obviously, both have merits. Obviously, I'm rewatching Andor right now. I have the Clea Luthen episode up in my gym. I love it. Yeah, but it's the same thing. So maybe that's the way to do it, Brennan.
And I was doing a rewatch, and I realized that Rebels has some extremely brutal moments.
Truly does.
For what you would call a quote-unquote kid show.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, the Grand Inquisitor beheads those two guys. You get that.
And
the episode where Thrawn makes the guy ride the speeder like.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
No,
it's actually rather brutal for a kid show.
And same with other, Kenobi and the Order 66 stuff, and I think it's
true.
It's that thing that gets cast off under the it's just action figures. It's just fantasy genre movies. Marvel, I think, faces the same thing too. Yeah. Well, Brennan, I hope we can provide you a safe place to vent and work it out, so you can get back into the world and enjoy the Star Wars that you love.
For Salty Brennan to exist.
Well, Salty Brennan should exist. Salty Brennan should also enjoy a fine meal at Outback Steakhouse and build up the sodium. You should build up the sodium and get ready to be Salty Brennan again.
Well, I need to gain weight anyway. I lost so much weight when I had pneumonia, so.
I'm sorry to hear that, Brennan. I didn't know you had pneumonia. And I'm glad you're good.
6 months ago. It was bad.
Maybe I did.
But yes, Outback trip will be soon. Yes.
Okay. Brennan, good to have you back on the show. I'm going to roll into a call with Aiden, and then we're going to go to sports, but I appreciate you
Okay,
checking in,
man.
my friend. All right.
See you
Brennan
later.
Mystical Mar, everybody. All right, now we're going to take a call here from Aiden, who has emerged as a new regular caller. We love regular callers. You can become a regular caller by becoming a YouTube channel member or supporting patreon.com/catnapsock. But Aiden is our resident insurance guru, but he can talk about anything he wants here tonight. How you doing, Aiden?
Not too bad, Chief. Yourself?
You know what? I'm gonna say I'm okay. I think this show lifts me up. The squirrels lift me up, and that's all I need.
Well, the first thing I was going to say was those 4 crows. Are you going to name them after members of the Knights of Ren?
I might have to because I felt connected to the crows last week because there was that crow I was trying to protect that unfortunately did not make it. Local predator got it and left the crow in front of my yard to let me know. So I felt sad for these crows. But then I'm going to be defensive of the squirrels. There's the depth chart here. So I don't know. If they come around again, I'm going to name them.
Yeah, sorry about the crows. Sometimes it's real no country for old men out there.
It really is. It really is.
But,
it really is. But anyways, what can we help you with, buddy?
well, basically, I was, I've been listening to the show and I've been listening to previous blatherings, and I know that in the world right now, there's a lot to be angry about. And I guess I was just wondering, like, how do you deal with being angry about stuff? And, do you ever, I don't know, you talked once about that guy out in the desert with the F Biden flag, and he just reminded me of somebody,
Yeah.
I was on different teams with someone as well who I got a little obsessed with. And,
Yeah, I feel
I don't
you.
know, do you ever think about going up there?
Going up to the desert and talking to him?
Well, not talking to him.
No. How do I deal with it? I'll tell you. First of all, here's what I don't think this actively every day. So I don't want to say I don't act like I wake up and I'm some sort of hero that thinks this. But one of the things I'll say about me personally, this is not necessarily about everyone here in the chat or the world, is me personally being upset with the quote state of the world, which is with the politics or just the social issues or just the people around us, what we're all going through. Is I'm glad I'm a little upset because for years I wasn't. And for years, I was not just unplugged. It didn't hit me because, as Jen Urso says, incorrectly to Saw Gerrera, it doesn't matter if you don't look up. And I'm paraphrasing the quote there, but that was me for a long time. So now I can at least go, hey, not that it makes me feel better, but I'm aware. And then maybe I can be part of the solution even in a small way. And for me, that's the people around me, not even necessarily the show. I don't know how many minds I'll change with this show. I don't know how many minds I'll change with any time. I might change some minds with Force Center because we have a bigger listener audience, but just the people around me, which is why, as Brendan was talking about just Star Wars, when I do want to get mad, and I have gotten into fights and discussions with family members or friends, and then I've lost them, or I've lost contact with them, and then nobody wins. So now I'm trying to, in this new year, meet people where they are and see if we can just have conversations that aren't as direct and finger pointy, and that just kind of soften the edges, and maybe we move forward together as they connect dots. I don't try to, that's not activating. I don't think about that every day. Some days I just wake up and think, man, I really want a cheeseburger today. Like, that's it. But that's one way I look at it. And as far as just getting through it, I do really believe in the hour by hour. Sometimes I slow myself down and just go, what do we have to do in the next hour? What's going to change in the next hour? What's the next hour about? And then I go from there. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. I find myself, kind of in a similar mindset. And, one day it's funny, I got away from, it's funny, I actually moved to, it came up early in the show, I lived in Massachusetts for a while, and then I've been living in Colorado for the last couple of years. Yeah. Which, by the way, I agree with Steve about what the lieutenant governor said. Having said that, having been in Colorado, don't mess with that Delta stuff. That's prison shit. That's
Steve, make note.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the prison shit.
I'm just saying, if you're going to smoke that, you also should be making wine in a toilet. Like, it's like...
Hey, also an option.
Yeah. But no, Yeah, no, it's funny. I remember there's just this person I was just like, I kind of couldn't stop thinking about him. And one day, I don't know what it was, actually a song that kind of snapped me out of it. It was a song by the group called a group called Sugarland, called
Yeah.
"Stuck Like Glue." I was
Okay.
just listening to that, and I was just like, this is kind of what. And that day, I just went home, and I just got away from him. So haven't thought
Yeah.
really much about him since. But
I love that, and I'm trying that, and yeah,
yeah,
and that's all we
oh,
can do. And then I'll avoid the high desert, just not running. I don't know what that guy probably has. I could probably guess what that guy has on his flag now.
probably. Also, I will say I like Lion King as much as the next guy, but you're right about Elton John. Ever since his old band left, and he was different after that.
He was different, not but worse because I'm a big Elton John fan. But you know what I mean? It was the part. And look, he got older. He's not going to be Saturday Night's All Right for fighting his entire life. I get it. I'm a big Elton John fan. But you're right. That was a dividing line.
Yeah, no, and I'm kind of one of those people where it's like, I'm for embracing change, but personally, I think that old band was better. That's just me.
That was a great band. Aiden, I appreciate your calls. Appreciate your honesty in these times, and appreciate your insurance advice as always. Okay, buddy.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
All right, anytime. But that is a show on tomorrow with Alden. Anytime with Ken and Alden, 11 a.m. Eastern. Steve, how you doing? I love that I'm making Jared just wait. I'm just making him wait. But you make him wait for 3 hours on Backstage, right?
I do not make anyone wait for 3 hours. What are you talking about? I made Jared is usually the first one I have on Backstage, and I think he waited 10, 13 minutes yesterday. I only yapped by myself for like 10, 15 minutes yesterday. So
What we're talking about, if you're listening or watching later, is the new YouTube channel we have up, Blathering Backstage. Links are down below here on YouTube. And subscribe over there. We're getting slow growth. That's where some clips are going. But more importantly, Steve's creating a great clubhouse atmosphere for the community on days when I'm not there. And I got to say, I don't know if I'm going to be on air Saturday, folks. I'll try to make it work. But that baby shower, again, happy to be invited because my cousin's wife is the mayor of a city I live in, okay? I don't know if I'll be back in time, Steve, so we'll see.
chase the bag, Ken. Chase the bag.
Chase the bag.
If you can't make it Saturday, I'll hold it down on Backstage. We'll do something. I'll have a stream on Backstage at some point this weekend. So
I'll figure it out. JC said something. I got to say, Ken, you open your eyes or looking up and getting pissed about stuff over the last while is encouraging to see. It does help normalize, demonstrate what folks are fed up with stuff. Yeah, I appreciate that. And it was a lot easier. That's the thing. It was a lot easier to just come on and do shows where you could bullshit and make jokes, talk about movies, and not deal with what was going on. And then it just, once it starts to not feel right, that's when you got to change. You got to be part of what's going on. Doesn't mean you cannot have, and that way, Steve, and it's not like a guilt complex, but it's like I feel more of a 360-degree rounded person so that you and I can rant against Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, a.k.a. Fuckface, and then we can also talk sports. But also, if stuff pops up in sports, like, I don't know, a sports star is a sexual assaulter or just an outright a-hole, so we could talk about that. And I feel more of a well-rounded entertainer or broadcaster or communicator than I was just doing this thing for a long time. Like, I hope I don't get called out for not having a political opinion and not caring because nothing matters. So anyways, I don't know. Does that make sense?
it makes total sense. I think one of the beauties and ills of media and social media now is that everyone has an opinion, obviously, but there is a skill. This is going to sound self-convoluted, but there is a skill to communicating to people and sending a message like coherently, and talking about things that you are knowledgeable about and spreading a message based on information and not a lot of things we see today. So just think about that a little bit when you read a story. Always ask, as someone who went to journalism school, when you read a story, ask, who does this benefit? Whose does this information benefit? Always ask yourself that question.
I enjoy that take there. All right, let's get to it here right now. We got 16 seconds of sports. Producer Steve checking in with 16 seconds-ish of sports, and then we'll talk about the headlines. Go for it, man.
Here we go with sports. In the NBA playoffs, the Thunder advanced to the NBA Finals. The Knicks play the Pacers tonight. Indiana is up 3-1. In the NHL, the Panthers became the fourth team in NHL history to make 3 straight appearances in Lord Stanley's Cup Final. Edmonton plays Dallas tonight. Edmonton is up 3-1 in that series. Fun stat from the hockey series, from the Panthers specifically. This is from The Athletic. A teammate of Jaromir Jagr has made the Stanley Cup Final in each of the last 45 seasons. Alexander Barkov of the Florida Panthers is a former teammate of Jagr. Jagr retired from the NHL in 2018. And finally, Lando Calrissian Norris of McLaren won the Monaco Grand Prix, and Alex Palau wins the Indy 500 in motorsports. Ken, that is your sports update.
Okay, did you make up that name?
Only his middle name. His name is Lando Norris.
Lando Norris. Yeah. I saw, this was at what, the Grand Prix of Monaco?
Yes.
Was that, so that was this weekend, right?
That's the big one. That was this past Memorial Day weekend. Yep.
Memorial Day weekend. I saw that the viewership for it was way, way up. This stuff's catching on now, huh?
Hell yeah, it is. And it was actually, I mean, Monaco is famously a shit race, by the way. I mean, it's the glamour, it's the pretty one, blah, blah, blah. Everyone loves
James
it.
Bond
but from a racing standpoint, the cars are too big now. I can talk about this all day, but the cars are too big now for a lot of passing. So Monaco's all about the qualifying, which is still really, really cool. Right? Which is really fun because they make it like a drag race kind of thing where it's like whoever does the fastest lap, that's probably who's going to win the race.
Are you saying that car bloat has made its way into racing too?
Yep, sure has. Sure has. Wow. The cars are really, really big now. Now they're way safer because they can flip upside down and not die. But the cars are really big now.
I mean, I'll allow that. Yeah. But I'm fascinated with the car bloat, and I'm part of it too. I have a SUV, mini SUV, whatever you want to call it, a Nissan Rogue. Yeah. That is bigger than any car I was ever in as a kid, and we had trucks and station wagons. You know, so I'm part of the problem. But car bloat is fascinating. Are you? Look, I know I don't follow NHL as closely as I used to. Are you telling me the Florida Panthers have been to the Cup the last 2 years?
Yes, they won it last year. They lost it the year before that.
What? The Florida Panthers are still a team?
Dude, Florida owns hockey. The Lightning were really good before that. In Tampa Bay. That's Tampa Bay, by the way.
I like Tampa Bay because they had, in 1992, Manon Rhéaume, the first female ever to play goalie in the NHL for one game in a preseason game. That's blowing my mind. Florida Panthers?
Dude, Florida owns the sport of hockey right now, and Canada is furious. Well, they beat the Oilers in the finals last year.
How many Canadian teams are there? In the NHL.
Ken, I don't know. So there's well, let's see. Someone in chat's gonna get this before I do. But there's the Maple Leafs. There's the Oilers. There's the Canadiens. There's the
Habitants Canadian. The Nordiques are gone, right?
Maybe the Winnipeg Jets. That's a team, right? That's 5, 7. There you go. See, damn it. Okay, there were 7. I was getting there. I only had 2 left. Toronto, Edmonton, Vancouver. Okay, Vancouver. I would have got eventually. Ottawa, Winnipeg. Okay,
Toronto,
okay.
Leafs.
Look. Hey, see, this is why I love the community. We have it. We almost had it. Damn it! Now you guys
Edmonton
are
Oilers, Calgary Flames, Vancouver Canucks,
go.
Toronto Maple Leafs, Ottawa Senators, Winnipeg Jets, Montreal Canadiens. The Habitants, the Canadiens.
Got it.
Yeah. So LQ is right there with me. LQ, where was that coming? I missed so much, I stopped watching hockey in the 90s. That was me. I stopped watching hockey regularly in the 90s, and then I would check in every now and then. But, I remember when the Minnesota North Stars went to Dallas. That was kind of weird. Like, Minnesota should have hockey, not Dallas. Las Vegas has a team, right? The Knights, right?
The Knights, yeah, and they were good right off the bat. Yep.
I don't mind these. I don't mind these cities having the teams. But the reason I'm reacting is when Florida got hockey, the Panthers and the Lightning, it was like surreal. It was weird. It didn't seem right. And now you're telling me the Panthers are the best team in hockey.
The best team in hockey, and it's kind of almost not close at the moment. They're really, really good. Yeah, they're really. It's like Arizona too. Arizona getting a hockey team is weird too. That's unnatural as well.
Are they still there? What's their team? Coyotes?
The Coyotes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know when the Arizona
I think they were there. Maybe they dissolved. Hell if I know. They were there. Seattle just got a team.
Seattle got a team.
I
thought Arizona moved. Maybe
they move. I don't know. Someone else said.
Arizona's
gone. That's so sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad. They went to Utah.
Utah has a team.
Utah has. To be fair, that makes more sense than Arizona.
But here's it. I saw an
God,
article this week.
I just want to say I'm sorry, hockey fans. We sound so dumb right now. So thank you for educating us.
Here's the thing about hockey fans. They got to know that they're the fourth on the list. Okay, if you're a hockey fan, Jared, if you're a hockey fan, you got to know that you're fourth at the party. Like it's gonna go football, baseball, basketball, maybe pickleball, and then we'll talk some hockey. And now F1 might be above hockey. But I love hockey. I have a special place in my heart. Okay, I saw an article this week that the Arizona Diamondbacks of baseball might go to Utah.
No.
Why would why are there teams in Utah? They don't stay open past 8 p.m. The entire state closes at 8 p.m.
Yeah, and the Jazz suck anyway. That's the only other team that I can think of in Utah. That's super disappointing, Ken. I don't know.
By the way, the fact that the New Orleans Jazz moved to Utah and kept the name Jazz in that city,
right? Isn't that great? Isn't that amazing?
And I know Brady will point out that the Minnesota Lakers became the Lakers. Yeah, I got it. We have some lakes. We actually have some lakes in LA. Okay, people don't. We have some lakes out here. Okay.
Did you make them though? Are they all man-made lakes? Are they real lakes though?
Don't you undercut my point, Steve. We have lakes, Lake Hollywood. All right, Lake Balboa. The fact that there were some bulldozers involved is not your concern.
If I knew absolutely nothing about Los Angeles or California, I would totally call you out and just be like, because I don't, by the way, but I'm assuming you're right. I would just say those are both fake names. You just made that up. Both of those are fake lakes.
Lake Balboa?
Lake Hollywood and Lake. That just you saw Rocky today, so you were like, shit. Lake Balboa. That's it.
Like I'm Wayne from Wayne's World 2, and a man fashioning a canoe. Underrated, by the way. In terms of big comedy sequels, I think Wayne's World 2 holds up. I like the first one slightly better, but 2 holds up.
Wayne's World 2 is the standard for comedy sequels. What's a better comedy sequel?
That's a good question.
That's it, right? Steve, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but that's
all right, hold on.
When I think of comedy sequels, Wayne's World is what I think of as like the bar. 22 Jump Street, I'm a big fan of. I like that with Channing. Well, you can't just say no and then say you can't like it. You can say okay. I don't have an opinion on it.
I can't.
It's your
my
show.
Name. My name's on the banner.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'd say
I'm wrong.
The second Austin Powers.
Okay, that's a good one. It's also true.
Okay,
that's also true. That's a good one.
Someone's like adventure comedies. I'm looking at a list here and has Back to the Future 2 in it. I don't stand by that. That's back. I love Back to the Future 2 and 3, but that's a different category to me. I'm talking about comedies.
That's not the same. Yeah, Back to the Future 2 is too close of like an adventure comedy than to be like a pure comedy. You don't go to Back to the Future 2 just to laugh. You go to Austin Powers to laugh.
Yes. Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation.
It doesn't. I think those are almost like anthologies, but I guess that's a good one.
Okay, so here's some options.
Austin Powers 2 so far is the best I've heard.
Best to do because I'll tell you what, Anchorman 2, nope. Ghostbusters 2, it's a sci-fi comedy. I have no skin in that game. Jane,
that's not terrible, but
see,
okay.
They have like Jane. I love Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
I love Jane and Silent Bob.
It's part of the View Askew universe.
It's not a sequel. It's not a sequel. Jane and Silent Bob is its own thing. It's a universe thing. It's like saying Thor is a sequel to Iron Man or something. You know what I mean? It's its own thing.
Look Who's Talking 2. No. Airplane 2.
No.
I got one that I probably enjoy and quote just as much as the original. Hot Shots Part 2.
Okay, that's a good one. Brady just beat you though with Rush Hour 2.
Look, I got to be honest. I don't think Brady beat me in anything.
No? Oh, I love Rush Hour 2. Man, Rush Hour 2 is definitely that might be one of the better. That's the best one I've heard since Austin Powers 2. That's just me though. I love Rush Hour.
Okay, I've run out of options on this list here.
Well, honestly, the list is not that long.
It's not long. We need to work on that, and maybe, just maybe
there's a bracket there.
A blather bracket.
Yeah, maybe there's a bracket there, Ken. I mean, to be fair, we just did the whole bracket, but yeah.
But that's just my opinion. And let's be honest, I'm slightly drunk and stupid. Nick says the Naked Gun films. I love the Naked Gun films, actually. Despite the one of the most retroactively awkward castings in the history of the world, I still really like that. Ken says, see how my winning choice is ignored? I don't know what your choice was. Did I miss it? I was looking at another thing. Adam's Family Values. No, you didn't win anything. In fact, Ken, you actually retroactively lost some things.
Will has a good call. Bad Boys 2. I like Bad Boys 2.
What is Josh McCoukie here?
Oh, come on. I like Bad Boys
Hot
is
Fuzz, but see, Hot Fuzz is part of the Cornetto trilogy, but it's a
No,
standalone
that's not a
for me.
sequel. Yeah,
like if
again,
there was a
no.
Hot Fuzz 2,
Right.
which, by the way, I love Hot Fuzz, Jay. I love Hot Fuzz.
I'm with you on that. Not a sequel.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Quite the tangent.
Ken Plume has said Hot Fuzz is not a sequel, and he needs a
He's right
win.
about
After that big loss, he needs a win.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead. Matt, this is going to be a long show here tonight. All right, we're almost done. All right,
I'm sorry, Ken. That's my fault. I've dragged shit on. I am. Steve's shutting up.
No,
Do your show, Ken.
no. We're having a great time. This is what the show should be about. Okay, we need triple, folks. Here's what I need you to do. You go out tonight on your favorite social media platform and just link to the show and just say what a goddamn great time you had here. Okay, all right. I want this. I want if we had triple the viewership. We'll maintain a good community. Okay, we'll maintain. It's not gonna get so big. We'll maintain a good community. My dreams of the Blathering becomes an empire, and Steve is my Grand Moff Tarkin. That's a good analogy,
Of
right?
all of them, Tarkin, I had to be the dude that lands the.
I just imagine you wear slippers. Okay,
I do. Oh, that's a good call. I wear slippers, and I'm a big sweater guy. My wife calls it my Prince Charles coat because, like, from the Queen, it's like in 3 seasons of the Queen, it's all Prince Charles wore was like a little soft little Mr. Rogers jacket with like the pockets in front. Anyway, I'm done. Sorry.
I wear a lot of slippers. I don't wear whatever the hell you just described, but Lord Romo, Father of the Bride Part 2. Unfortunately, Father of the Bride, one of my favorite films. I can't get behind 2. I think it didn't work for me. Sorry, Romo. All right, let's get Jared the TIE Pilot in here, and we're gonna be talking about whatever the hell he wants to talk about. First of all, Jared, are you telling me you haven't worn a sock around your pee-poo on stage?
God, no. Please
No.
don't compare me to that god awful band.
Oh, this is a hot take, Steve. This is a hot take. Oh, Steve
really
just
tough.
put on his smoking jacket. And for those in the audio version, just imagine an old man dying, and you got Steve dressed comfortable there.
It's even got elbow pads.
And Jared, it's got elbow pads. Jared, not a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. I don't love the band either. So take me through this.
The music's awful. I don't like the people in the band. Their fans need a smack in the temple with a baseball bat.
Wow, look at you, Steve. Do you hear this punk violence coming here?
Right to violence. Straight to the violence.
Yeah, that's okay.
I love this.
I'm not a pacifist. Violence is for the win sometimes.
I'm with you too. As someone who has driven people's heads into the ground to arrest them, it's not something I'm proud of. But sometimes, unfortunately, that's the problem, Jared. Unfortunately, it sometimes feels good. And that's what's wrong with humans, okay?
Yep.
I'm just saying that out there. Don't anyone get offended, but I have. All right, Jared, where are we going tonight? Are we doing Game of Thrones or are we doing General Call? What are we going? I didn't check in with you before.
Oh, we got Game of Thrones. It's Thursday.
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't disappoint.
Well, then that's what we do. Jared likes to call in with a Game of Thrones question. I clip it out and put it on Casualty Talk or here on Casualty Talk if you're watching. Jared, take it away.
Yep, so tonight we got episode 8 of season 5, Hard Home.
Oh,
Our boy Miguel back directing, D&D writing. And upon rewatch of this episode, it's another one of those, like when we first started this rewatch series with the Mountain and the Viper. There's a lot that happens in this episode that you don't overly remember or think about.
Yes.
Like, you've got Arya starting the Thin Man plot. Tyrion in Marine with Dany.
Yep.
I mean, the work continues. Qyburn to Cersei.
Oh, yeah, Anton Lesser. Where I first fell in love with Anton Lesser was probably this episode.
Yes, definitely.
The work continues.
And of course, Hard Home itself, the battle of battles against the Whites, at least the good one against the Whites that we could see. I loved season 8 too, but that was a tough watch.
Yes.
That battle.
Yes. And this is so I'm looking at a list too here just to remind myself too. It's been too long since I've seen this episode. got a big reveal from Reek, which is Sansa, that he didn't kill Bran and Rickon. That's, I think, big to the show, big to Sansa. I love all the stuff going on with the Jorah getting back to the fighting pit, or getting to the fighting pits, and all the stuff for Dany. Oysters, clams, and cuckles. Is this that? That's she starts screaming that in this one too, right?
Yep, that's how it is. She plays the faces game. Yep.
Yeah, so Hard Home, it's remembered correctly for that episode, or for the last, what is that, 40 minutes of the episode? It's something like that.
It's a good chunk of the episode.
And it should be remembered for that. I do think that is one of the signature sequences of the series. I absolutely love Hard Home. We can talk about it. We can talk about it as fans. I don't need to even analyze it. But one of my favorite Cersei moments is her drinking the water off the ground. That is this episode, if memory serves, right? She's down there in prison, and she's doing the confessing. It's refused to confess it. Yeah, and then the water, and that is some of, I think, Lena Headey's best work. That is literally Cersei at the rock bottom. And when we talk later on about that character of Cersei Lannister in the show, getting her vengeance at the end of season 6, getting that sip of wine that everyone celebrates, despite her at times being a rather despicable character. I think it's the moments like these that make that all earn. Cersei Lannister at her lowest, from where we met her to where she is now. It's fascinating fall, fascinating character study, and some of Lena Headey's best work.
It's one of the strengths of the show overall, is taking these horrible people, but giving them such complexity that we celebrate that sip of wine, even though she just slaughtered a whole bunch of innocent people on top of taking out the sparrows. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just, she's not an innocent bystander to this. Yeah,
never was.
But that's the strength of the writing. But the scene that actually stood out to me upon rewatch that I loved was the small part with Ollie and Sam talking about Ollie not appreciating or not understanding why Jon would want to help the wildlings. And it's just, it's beautiful foreshadowing that we didn't see coming if you didn't read the books even.
Yeah. And where we stand now with the books, obviously we're still waiting to see what happens to Jon in the books. And that's not a slight against George R.R. Take your time or not finish it at all. I don't care at this point. But I love that thing too, because it's also one of my favorite undercurrents in the show, particularly around Jon Snow. It is the idea of when we meet him, he wants this wants to take on the honor of going to the wall, this old style honor that's completely out of date. All the stuff going on with the rundown wall and the rundown Night's Watch. But it's this honor. It's we got to keep the realm safe from what lies beyond, which are these wildlings, which is a slur. And for him to meet Ygritte and just go through this transition, it's not even deep theme work. It's all on the surface of him changing, and it's also stuff that Ned Stark taught him. So it's what I love about even the character of Ned, honorable as he was, one of my favorites. He was a byproduct of his time and of his world. And this idea that they are simply bad because they are on the wrong side of the wall. It's overtly political in terms of the story. Jon goes through this wonderful change. And at this particular one will lead to his death, but also where he ends up at the end of it all. So I love seeing it play out in these kind of episodes. And it's a perfect setup for Hard Home and the horrors of Hard Home. Because wildling or not, or free folk, as Jon learns to call them, and I prefer to call them in the end, you are all going to be squished under this ice storm of evil that's coming for us all. That's why I love this episode and love the work that they do around Jon Snow.
Oh, it's great. It's great. And actually, I feel like this is almost like, because we've been seeing this in other media as well, like example with Star Wars with the Boba Fett show, taking a group that you started off with, you had these awful wildlings or the sand people. And, and then you're learning, no, they're Tusken. Sand people is a bad word, and they're free folk. They're not wildlings. Again, the wall went up and they just happened to be north.
Happened to be the wrong side. And why I love Mance Rayder so much and just uniting all these different tribes for this cause of what Jon learns here in this moment. On Hard Home itself, again, whatever it is, the last 40 minutes, it plays out perfectly. You have you have the Lord of Bones, all that stuff with him, and just John being met with resistance, and Tormund even being met with resistance. So all that going on, all that interplay. But the time I have here, I still to this day, and man, remember, this is one of the big things I love about Hardhome is it is a passing reference in the books. Maybe to be fair, maybe more than a passing reference. Characters,
but
things.
It's not what it is in the show.
It's not what it is in the show. So for all the crap. And some of it I do understand years on of the crap that Benioff and Weiss take and the difficulty in adapting that work, even with what they had and they had in their hands, let alone any vague notes from George later on. Throw all the crap you want at them for that. But it's stuff like this where the show really did succeed, where it took a little thing and said, well, let's show this on TV. This is fascinating stuff. And they change up the roster a little bit, different players there than they are in the books. But that moment, Jared, when the dogs start barking and sitting there watching it, and we were recording the Night is Dark podcast at the time. So it's me, Tiffany Smith, Michelle Boyd, Ma Garrett. And we're watching this, book readers too, by the way, all of us. And we had no idea what we were stepping into other than we knew Hardhome was something. But those dogs barking, Jared, I still get the nerd chills thinking about it. Because it is such a perfect example of holy bleep, something's coming. And the way it was executed, the ongoing horror, the reveal of John and the sword and everything about it is it's a signature sequence for a reason. And I love celebrating it. God damn it. I got to go watch it now, Jared.
It's great. And my favorite part is actually the ending. And excuse me, Brady even mentions it in the chat, the ending where the way it's shot is so great. You have John looking at the Night's King as he raises his hand and the dead start coming, standing back up. And you think they're so far away. And then they do the wide shot. He's like 20 feet out from the shore. And he's just like, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Good.
We could get you, but no, go ahead.
Yeah. And that is that the, yes, that is the Night King played by the same guy who is in Mandalorian.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm forgetting his name. I want to give him all the credit. Richard Brake.
Right, yeah.
He's great in the Bill Burr dinner table or mess hall table scene in Mandalorian. But that's his. They had a few different versions of the Night's King. Love that. No, love that. I'm going to go watch Hardhome. Great stuff. But again, Jared, the best. I'm glad you focused on other stuff in the episode. Come for Hardhome. Stay for Cersei Lannister licking water off the ground in a prison cell.
Right. Seriously.
It is.
God.
All right.
So,
all right. Yeah.
So next week we got our famous season, our episode 9s. We got Dance of the Dragons next week.
Love it. Love it. All right. Looking forward to that conversation. Thanks as always, Jared. Anything else on your mind, buddy, before I kick you on down the road?
Not too much. Just also, hockey is not 4th on the list. Hockey is number 1 on the list, and Florida shouldn't be winning.
Well, that we can agree on. Producer Steve, we're not wrong here, and I doesn't mean I love hockey. I'd rather watch hockey than basketball, but there's no way that weird Canadian sport is going to surpass those other sports.
No, you're not wrong. And it might even be 5th because college football, honestly, is probably number 2. If we're talking about the whole country.
Actually, it might be even number 1 at times, I'd say.
I mean, if we want to pull that game, isn't NASCAR number 1?
Get out of here, Jared. Okay, get out of here.
I don't like NASCAR, but
not the same. Especially not on TV. Not the same.
Love it. Love it, Jared. Keep rooting for hockey. I love going to hockey games. It's been a while. I want to get out to a Ducks or Kings game.
Yep, there Edmonton's still up 3-2 with 6 minutes left in the second.
There you go. Over Dallas?
Yep.
I'm rooting for Edmonton. I want a Canadian team in the Cup Finals.
They're trying. They're trying.
There we go. There we go.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe.
All right. Thanks, Jared. Jared, the Tide Pilot, checking in. All right. We got a couple calls here to go. We're going to go to Brady right now. Brady, thoughts on the Minnesota Lakers becoming the LA Lakers, and should they have changed the name?
No. There's L8 and Lakers. It makes sense.
I haven't thought about that. It's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Iconic name. You know, they had already won 5 championships.
Yeah.
You don't you don't reinvent the wheel.
And again, we have lakes in LA. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we have lakes in Toluca Lake. All right, my favorite restaurant, Smokehouse, is in the shadow of Toluca Lake. Frank Sinatra's favorite lake. So Brady, you're right. Perfect name.
Yep. There's Balboa Park as well.
Lake Balboa. I used to go ride my bike around there all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Great driving range and golf course there as well. Brady, what is on your mind?
So you want to talk some baseball?
Baseball, Ray. Yes, I do.
Yeah, so our favorite teams, your Yankees and my Dodgers, are teeing up. Is that the right term? The Yankees are looking to get their revenge from the World Series this weekend. And I think they have a good chance at doing so. Your Yankees are currently the hottest team in baseball.
Judge is doing great.
Judge is hitting 400, and you can get into more detail about the Yankees. But the Dodgers,
I can't. I haven't watched a Yankee game this year. I don't know who's in our starting rotation. I don't even know who's pitching for us. Max Fried. I don't know.
Devin Williams.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Devin Williams. Yeah, I know Devin Williams because I had him on my fantasy team, and the Yankees picking him up ruined my fantasy team this year. Yeah. Okay. But I know we're doing good. I check it.
Ken has spent more time with Yankees players from the 1980s opening packs on Sports Card ASMR than he has watching his current team. Let's put it that way.
I bought some today. Got some Heritage.
Oh wow!
I got some. Oh, look at this! Look at this! You know what? I'm also going to open up. Here's what I'm going to open up. I got some hockey cards. Look at that, Jared the TIE Pilot. I got some hockey cards today. Okay. Yeah. Fuck. All right. Brady.
Whoa, Jared.
What, Brady? Okay, so here's the thing though. The Yankees, are they at Yankee Stadium or Dodger Stadium this week?
Dodger Stadium.
Oh, why am I not going to the game?
Why
Oh,
you
because
should go.
I'm flat fucking broke. And but my friend works there as an off-duty cop. I wonder if he can give me discounted tickets. They're sold out. They're sold out. I got the baby shower. Brady, I got the baby shower. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
Okay, but even if the Yankees sweep, it's not revenge until it's the World Series.
Oh yeah, because it's the.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you said something wrong. I'm just saying as a Yankee fan, we could win all 6 of our games against the Dodgers this year if we play them 6 times. I can't remember with interleague play, and interleague play has been around since the 90s. I'm not a purist that doesn't like interleague play anymore, but we got to get back to the series. They got to get there, and then we got to kick their ass, and then it will be even.
Yeah, I get it. I'm a Laker fan. You know, when your organization has a legacy, it's all it matters is championships. You know.
Yeah.
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 Like,
yeah. Exactly. Just like me in this show, Brady. I only expect wins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Like whenever the Lakers and Celtics meet, you know, I want to beat them in the finals.
Exactly. I love a good sports rivalry. Final thought here, Brady. Predictions. Dodgers, Yankees this weekend. Who you got?
So I looked at the betting odds, and the Dodgers are just a 1.5 run favorite. And I think Aaron Judge, I think he has red in his eyes. I think, yeah, don't gamble. But Aaron Judge is hitting 400. Ohtani is in a little bit of a slump right now. And also the Dodgers, like our pitching rotation is all injured right now. We have the worst bullpen in the league right now.
You know why? Because you got Blake Trine and a QAnon member on your team.
We got cursed, man.
Okay.
Yeah. And
you got the only guy smiling in the White House picture. Actually,
yeah.
That's not true. There were some others there too.
The smiling.
Okay. All right. So what's your prediction, Brady?
So I think the Yankees are gonna win the series, but it's not gonna be a sweep because the Dodgers have one of the best offenses in baseball right now.
Okay. Okay.
And so there's just gonna be one game where there's just gonna.
So 2 games to 3 or 2 games to 1.
2 games to 1. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mark it down, Steve. NFL picks will come back in the fall, but baseball picks with Brady right now. Brady, I appreciate you. Okay, buddy?
Yeah, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, Brady's going to come to the show.
Yeah.
Steve, you couldn't fly out to the show and come see Mark and I. All right. But Brady, I appreciate you taking 12 buses.
Shout out to Cinder who gave me some tickets.
Whoa, Cinder coming through. Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. And I think you're going to see Mr. Brian Tillerman as well.
Tiller. Oh, we're going to talk some Dodgers. There's a game tomorrow, too.
I know that's probably going to affect attendance. I'm glad you're here. You can tell you what, if it makes you feel better, just watch the game during the show.
Nah. I don't want to see my Dodgers lose.
Oh, there you go. Brady, appreciate you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow night at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank, California.
Yeah, everyone, come see Ken.
Come. There you go. I'm kidding, Steve. You don't have to fly out yet. One of these days.
I mean, to be fair, you came to DC the one time, but I have a child, and I have one on the way. So I have plane tickets. Plus, Ken, I'm afraid of flying. I don't like flying.
Okay. Look, I don't know what to do with that. I'll be honest. Anytime someone tells me, and I got a lot of friends, I'm afraid of flying. I used to be afraid of flying too.
Yeah.
You know what the answer is? Take a drink. It goes back to the top of the show, Steve. Everyone should drink.
Ken, the FAA is not in the best place right now. It doesn't help my, confidence.
Okay, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. Okay, maybe just wait it out. Maybe wait it out a year, okay? Maybe Nathan Fielder, whatever the hell his name is, will start flying planes for everyone. I'm like one of the only people in the world that doesn't watch his stuff because I find him off-putting. But, I don't know. Okay, maybe Steve's not wrong there. Okay.
The wife has always wanted to do like an RV road trip, so maybe I'll drive.
Oh, perfect. I know many homeless encampments you can park your RV at, and no one will know. All right, one more call to go. Did Cal leave? I was expecting Cal to smoke a bowl and get on the show tonight, but Mandalorian Jedi Avenger is here. Says how is Squirrely? We did Mandalorian Jedi Avenger. Go back when we're done live. Go back to the beginning of the show. We did have Squirrel updates, and you had a lot of great footage of Squirrely. It's good. Squirrel Setter is alive and well. Squirrely's doing. Oh, okay. Cal's there now. All right, he lit up. All right, so let's do this here now. Let's bring Sean was first. Sean McCabe's coming in here. So Shawnee, take it away. What's on your mind tonight? How can we help you?
Great episode, man.
You know what? I'll tell you why it's a great episode tonight. I'm fucking depressed and at the bottom of the barrel, Sean.
Yeah, but
I have nowhere to go but up and angry. I got what?
You got us here for you.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I had a good lunch today. Okay, but my day wasn't completely bad. Okay, I had a spicy chicken sandwich from Wood Ranch.
Okay, not bad.
That's all I had. That's all I had to
Sean
hold
does
on
not
to,
seem
Sean.
impressed.
No, Sean did not seem impressed at all. It's like, you could have come out to Brooklyn and got some bagel and lox. But okay.
Please, I would have cooked for you, man. I made linguine and clam sauce tonight.
Oh, as long as there's no clams in the clam sauce, I'll try that. You put a
I have a strainer, so yeah, we can.
Okay. You put a clam tongue in things. Yeah, clam tongues.
What would you prefer, chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese at this point?
Sean, you know me well. That's all I'll say. Yeah, mix them together. Nuggies and cheese. Let's do it. I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you saying it's a good show, Sean. Anything specific tonight?
Well, what happened today? So today I went to a JROTC end of the year ceremony.
JROTC. What is that?
It's it's the precursor to going to the military.
Oh, like ROTC. Like a J.
So
okay, yes, I'm familiar with ROTC.
You got ROTC in college, JROTC for high school.
Mm-hmm.
And these kids are going off to college, and I took part in the ceremony.
Yeah.
And it was great.
When you say took part in the ceremony, what did you do?
So I work for the government over here, and my boss, being the politician, signed some citations for these kids, and I presented.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's perfect.
Because I'm the veteran.
Come in. You're the veteran. You got to come in. A little good time vibes, and the commitment from you is small, so you get to kind of come and bring the good energy, but you're not there, lifting a lot of doing a lot of heavy lifting for the ceremony.
Yeah, I got to hang out with some other guys, some active, some not.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah,
beautiful. Love that. Yeah. We had a ROTC program at our probably like you said JRTC program at our high school. Yeah, a couple friends of mine went on. I appreciate that.
It helps get these, even if they don't go in, like it really helps them build character and some self-resilience, self-esteem. A lot of it.
So what you're saying is I should have signed up then for the ROTC program. I would have got self-esteem. I don't know what that feels like, Shawnee. I don't know what it feels like.
Oh, you listen. It's never too late or early, man.
Okay. I just got to drink more. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're encouraging me to do. No, I appreciate it. I'm glad for you, man. And you get to talk to them off stage and share any wisdom, or just
yeah. I mean, anything I would tell any other kid who was thinking about joining the military. Just really be yourself. Do the hard work. The only easy day was yesterday. And you're part of a team. You never have to go through anything alone.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff, Sean. I think we all needed to hear that tonight.
I'm glad I could be of service tonight.
We're all part of a team. Not counting Jared and his hockey love, but kidding. I love hockey. Jared. Calm down. I love hockey. No, I appreciate you, Sean. I cannot let you go, even though we do have one more call. Cal, by this point, is probably stoned out of his gourd. But could you can't let you hang up with a good give me a forget about it or any other kind of local flavor from where you are to put into the show archives.
Get out of here.
That's what I want. That's my favorite one, I think. Sean, thank you, buddy.
All the best, Ken. Good night, guys.
All right, Sean, check it in there. All right, are you ready? Ready, Steve?
I am ready for Kingsport Cal. That just reminds me really quickly of an address I heard in school. Someone came, like one of those motivational speakers, and told us to run towards the roar, and told us that in the wild, the antelope. Ken, this was the dumbest speech I ever heard. The antelope will run towards the lion, Ken, if they want to survive, because the lion doesn't expect that. The lion doesn't think that's coming. So the antelope that runs towards the lion is the one that survives. So run towards the roar, Ken.
And did they show proof of this ever working?
Of course not. No, it was the dumbest speech I ever heard, Ken. But I remembered it since I was like 15.
Every Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom episode I watched as a kid did not end well for the antelope, no matter which direction it ran. Okay. Always forward, says Johnny. Okay, let's do this. Call it in the show. He hasn't been on the show in a couple weeks. I think he's been busy working or doing God knows what. We haven't spoken to him since he revealed that he has been to key parties, except for his were masked. Kingsport Cal's on the show. Cal, how are you doing, buddy?
Ken, I've spoken to you in the past 2 weeks.
I don't know what time is. Don't come hard at me over time. Cal.
Also, I will never forget that speech now, because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Steve.
Yeah. If you're an antelope, look, if you're a lion, it might be a little different thing. Kingsport Cal, how you doing, buddy? I'm joking. I'm not gonna assume that you've smoked any kind of bowl tonight.
Oh yeah, I did smoke in honor of the talk about the Delta talk, which is not a prison weed, by the way. I don't know what.
Aiden said, look, Aiden's in Colorado. You've never been in the prison system in Colorado, Cal. You don't know. It could be.
I don't. Anyway, how are you, man? You up here swigging on the liquor and stuff? What's going on tonight? What's happening?
I'm being honest with my audience. I'm very depressed. I am very isolated. All right. So the worst, one of them, there's many bad things about the end of a relationship. But for me, I realized today I'm giving you the real stuff here, Cal. I was talking to my buddy Mark Ellis. I said, I've been single before. I've been, broken up with, or relationships have ended before. I've been through that. But this is the first time that I have experienced that and been both single and alone, meaning I'm not at home living with my folks. I am not surrounded by 4 roommates, 3 roommates, or the last time 1 roommate. This is the first time that when this camera goes off and the lights come off, I go into an empty house. And everyone else around me, you all here in the audience have been supportive. Every one of my friends have been supportive. But after a while, life goes on for everybody, and no one's going to check in on me every day. No one's going to be willing to. They can't always come over and hang out with me. So the solitude's starting to get me, Cal. If you want to get serious, the solitude, I'm going a little stir crazy.
Well, Ken, we're checking in on you right now.
I appreciate it.
We're checking in on you right now. What the hell you think we're doing, Colin?
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to have to choose one of you to to have the code to my front door because I don't have a key, I have a code. And if you all don't hear from me, like, I don't know, after 3 days, someone needs to come check on me. Because, let's be honest, Cal, I'm in that age. I'm advancing in years. I eat entire pizzas. Kevin Smith had a heart attack at 46. I don't know. I'm starting to get those dark thoughts, Cal, that the squirrels are going to eat me. The squirrels are going to devour my dead body before producer Steve could figure out that it's not another live show.
I was literally going to ask you how long do you think it would take for Squirrely to eat you? If you did
the way
cook.
I've seen Squirrely down those peanuts and almonds, it's 2 hours.
Get your pets in. Get your pets in. Ken, I actually have a friend, a coworker who I've instructed to if I don't show up to work and I do not call or do not show, I've instructed her to message me through Facebook just to make sure that I am alive. If I you see what I'm saying? So I get what you mean.
It's a look. I had a friend. I won't say the friend's name, but until recently, well, I kind of partially outed her. She was single and lived alone, and my job was every 48 hours to text her. It was my job. I did it with honors, and so I might have to ask her to return the favor. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you can deal with this. You can deal with this, Ken. I mean, you know what I mean?
I can. Yeah, I can. Anyways, all right. This is all right. I'm speaking truth here. I'm speaking truth, and now I'm getting sad. Now.
All right, well, I'm going to lighten you up. I'm going to lighten you up a little bit.
Okay, lighten me up. Take us home.
I'm going to lighten you up because I lighten myself up.
Mm-hmm.
I was perusing. Speaking of Facebook, I was perusing through Facebook Marketplace, and I found a guy in my area selling sweet Epiphone Les Paul, and he said $150,
Buy it.
and I put 100, and then he put 150 firm. 6 hours goes by.
Okay.
So then he messaged me. He said, "Well, I'll take 100." He's like, "I get off at 30," and I was like, "All right, you come bring it." And here it is, Ken. I got $100.
Can you show that
Les Paul.
on Backstage? Can you play that the next Backstage?
I'm not that very good.
I don't
No,
care.
well, not my own opinion.
I know one chord. I played the G chord
No.
badly. Brown,
Play
brown.
fun. But this
Okay,
is
that's
my
great. But
this is
that
my
is
third car actually. But anyway, what?
Okay, but so this is a great negotiation ploy. 150,
Yeah,
100.
I didn't
I
even
was going
talk.
to say,
I didn't
he
even
comes
say
back
it
to you
once.
saying 6 hours later, Kelly comes back to you saying $100. That's when you say 85.
I
You
probably
came
should.
crawling. You came crawling back to me 6 hours later saying $100. No, man. Now it's 85. Hell no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what you say? You say 85 for the annoyance.
Well, this is exactly how it went down. I seen it. I messaged him and I said $100. He came back and said 150. I came back again and said $100. He said he came back and said 150 firm. And then I just sat on it. And then 6 hours later, he's like, "I'm getting off work. You still want it for 100?" Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
You did
yeah,
good.
and
You
he
still did
brought
good.
it.
You still
Yeah.
did good.
And he brought it to me, and it's
and-
got a gig bag with a pair of extra strings.
Okay, I think you won this. I think you won it, Cal. You did good here. But Steve's not wrong. But I love that you, because Cal, I can imagine you being really good at, hey, I want that. Okay, how about this price? You know what? I don't want it that bad, and just go on with your life. That's the key to negotiation. Can you go on with your life?
I would love to bring Cal to a car dealership and negotiate buying a car with Cal. That would
that's
be
amazing.
that would be an amazing quote unquote content.
Steve, the mother of my child, has taken me twice to help her buy a car.
Steve, you're on point here. Cal, what's your secret at a car dealership, Cal?
I don't really have that big of a secret. I'm more about intimidation factor. You know what I'm saying? I'm just that. I'm the man.
Yeah.
I act like I know what the hell I'm talking about, but I don't. You see what I'm saying?
Are you? I do see what you're saying. Are you like when and Ocean's 11, the Clooney version, the Soderbergh version, when Bernie Mac goes to buy the two white vans and he just shakes that guy's hand?
No, I love that. No, I'm not that slick.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what?
Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
Yeah, you just made me. I forgot all about.
I might have to watch Ocean's 11 tonight because that's one of my all-time favorite films, and maybe that's like hanging out with friends. Cal,
But no,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
speaking of which, though, I do participate in auctions online. If you ever watch Craigslist Hunter, Pete, he does stuff online. He's got a big ass pawn shop where he auctions stuff off, but he also has a pawn shop. Anyway, but I do that too. I bid on stuff as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I'm a little afraid of Craigslist Hunter. I don't know. That seems like it.
No, is
that a serial killer? That's a serial killer.
No. This is a legit pawn shop guy. He's got a huge following. Ken. He's legit. He does pawn stuff.
Look,
I got a knife from him today.
You got a knife from him. You got
No, Cal.
Check this out.
Ted Bundy had a nice following too. Okay.
Go to the site. They're making it seem more than it is. It's a whole site. He's got a huge YouTube following. It's not about knife stuff.
Okay.
It's great. It's great.
It's okay because he has a cult, Ken.
Well,
No.
okay. First of all, Cal's rubbing in that this guy's got a big YouTube following, and like, I get it.
No,
I get it.
Right. I was trying.
Cal, all right. Okay. All right. So I'm glad you're buying knives off the internet. That's definitely not a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing.
Lucky I ain't buying swords.
That's probably Cal. You can't convince me that you don't have a sword somewhere in your house that you bought from someone who scratches off the serial numbers. Okay.
I do have a sword. I have a Highlander looking sword. It's not a Highlander remake, but it's a Highlander looking sword. Pretty cool.
Okay, there's two people in my chat group here, my show's audience, that I know have some sort of questionable means or the means that they acquired is questionable. It's you and Laserbolt, okay? And there's a good chance Laserbolt got a sword from someone in a bar fight that he killed. So you getting it from Craigslist is safe.
I also have, I'm pretty proud of it. I also have a bayonet from, I think it's
Of
World
course
War
you do.
II. World War II. That you put on the gun? On the gun?
No, I know what a bayonet is. I want to know why the hell you have one in 2025.
It's been passed down.
It's been passed down for generations?
My grandparents.
But wait, hold on. Are you sure it's from World War II?
I think it's World War II, yeah.
It's not from like Civil War or something like that?
And no, it's either one or two, but I think it's got Germany insignia on it. Not
Okay,
fine, but
okay, Cal, hold on. You're collecting German military memorabilia from World War II? What's going on here, Cal?
I'm pretty sure it's German. It was just something my grandparents had.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Heard that story before.
I'm the one that actually had a grandfather who fought for the German army in World War II. I'm trying to say the YouTube-friendly version. As you all know the story, he didn't have a choice, and he escaped. But I'm fascinated by this, Cal. Maybe on Backstage you can show us.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. I got it, just so you know I ain't lying.
Cal, let me tell you something.
What?
At no point do I think you lie. There's nothing you've said on this show that I think's a lie. That's why you're on the show.
Yeah, I can't even make out what this says, dude. Anyway, I have to do more investigation on that.
What's on it? Is there something that kind of looks like a bunch of lines broken in a weird shape? Like
That's 3 lines, and it's like W-E-Y-E.
I don't know. Maybe we've gone too far, Steve.
It's not making any sense. And then on the other side, I have to break out my magnifying glass to see it. But anyway,
yeah. All right. Can we go, Cal? Cal, can we go? Can we go?
What?
Can we go?
Yes,
what's on your mind tonight? Okay, I gotta go cook some dinner. I gotta find time to cry, and I gotta finish my set for tomorrow night. Okay, it's a busy night.
Cut that crying out, Ken.
Okay.
No room for crying. It's winner, son. You're a winner. We're all winners there. Even
winners. All right.
Even me. What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
Even Steve.
All I'm
right.
delirious at this point.
All right, go smoke a
Hold
bowl.
on.
Thank you, Kingsport Cal. Thank you, Kingsport Cal. All right, that's it. Lovely. He's gone. Fun show. 2 hours of stupid craziness. 2 hours of ranting. 2 hours of me being a jackwagon. And I absolutely love it. Thank you all for letting me hang out with all of you. We'll do it again. Like I said, I'll try to hit a show Saturday night, depending on how quick I can get out of the baby shower. But, you know, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But if not, keep your eye on the Backstage channel. Backstage, the Blathering Backstage, links down below here on YouTube. Producer Steve will try to get something up there. We'll put some clips up there as well. Thanks for doing that, Steve. You had a good time the other night. I saw that.
Absolutely. No, we had a lot of fun last night. Thank you for everybody tuned in. And yeah, we'll definitely have a show this weekend at some point, whether it's tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. Check out the Backstage, follow us, and we'll be there.
Love it, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a channel member. Thanks for any super chats. Thanks for any support over on Patreon at patreon.com/KenNapzok. You guys are all very generous and have helped me through a very tough time. But also, we're forming a strong community here. So do what I said, please. Go post somewhere on your social media platform of choice a link to this episode and say, come join the fun. Let's grow the Blathering. See you next time. Bye.